and that was a lot. Like that's the most snow I've ever seen. A foot of snow. A foot of snow.
Oh man!
And that was a lot for here.
I've never seen that.
Nobody knew how to handle it.
I think 3 or 4 inches, the most I've ever seen.
Here, like when they shovel it, it can get up to like your shoulder.
What?
Like yeah, I'll send you guys pictures. I have a picture of me ice fishing, and like my eyelashes are frozen, and like my hair is frozen. Everything's frozen.
You have to send, ice fishing. No, that means I left some tilapia in the freezer. That's all ice fishing means to me. So
that's your ice fishing. No, ice fishing is really fun, and you can like set up little tents and stuff like that, so that
really you do that? That's awesome.
They have like little cabins where the floors are out, and you cut a hole in the ice, and you're inside, and you just feed through the ice.
No, I've seen that. I've just never known anyone that did it.
There's like pop-up tents you can buy, or you can like build like a shack on the ice or whatever, and then just drill holes, and you can throw a heater in there, and as long as you like, it gets pretty warm in there if you like cover it up and seal it up right. Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, Myamorph, good to see you, sir. We're still several minutes away, but I want to apologize to Vivi.
Why?
I have it correct here. If you're looking at Twitch, it says we're interviewing the amazing Vivi of the DMsQuest, but on the actual description for the stream, I had to get rid of the amazing only because there's a 130 character limit I didn't know about, so I had to change it. You're still amazing, even if it doesn't show up on that. It's here.
High praise. Thank you.
Your amazingness is so big that it didn't fit in the title.
Exactly. All right, so let me check our views here before we get started.
Winston is okay. Yes, Winston is okay.
Winston is fine, yes. Don't worry, I'm taking care of Winston. Noted, remember? I noted. I have something, Lilith has something noted, so.
Yes, she does.
We'll definitely make sure.
Could you move your cam just a bit, Vivi, so we're not cutting off your head?
I had to
tilt it.
Yeah, tilt it so it's going up a bit more. Because I'm losing your. There you go. Well, okay, yeah, perfect. There you go. Thank you.
So we can see the top of your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Top of my head. Oh, I'm just trying to hide my hair. We don't even know what the hell's going on. Ooh,
oh, thank you for the sub, Phantom.
And,
thank you for the sub, the Seekazilla. Seekazilla has been really active lately in our chat. We really appreciate that. He's a good guy, and we much appreciate all that. Mystical Unicorn Painting, your dice went out today.
Ooh,
well,
hey, Manda.
I should say, Manda, your second set of dice went out today.
I'm kidding.
You've been.
Ooh, George is here. Hey, George.
Oh, hey, George. Good to see you.
Thank you. I will put that in. I will add that in for Sunday.
Nice. That's very nice.
Exactly. Very cool stuff. As I always say, we have the best chat in the business. It's going to be fun tonight. We're going to make. I'm going to really try. I know I can make her laugh. I want to make Vivi nervous. I want to make her uncomfortable. I want to ask her hard questions tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that I got called out on it in the Discord, because they're like, oh yeah, she wasn't really like too weird in the beginning, and then like now she's getting more comfortable, and like her weirdness is seeping through. I'm like 100% me. Like
no, I love that. Exactly.
To, like, put up this like I'm professional front, and then like as soon as that veil kind of comes out, like then you just realize how weird I am.
No, exactly. Hey, Lord Forth.
In our Sunday game, Vivi, I could not stop laughing, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's a giggle fit!"
Yeah, they referred to an Evelyn or a not Irda. Yeah, Irda, giggle fit.
Giggle fit.
Yeah, so
I'll have to watch that. I want to see what it was.
I don't even remember what it was now, but like I literally could not stop laughing.
Yeah. Because then that's my point too, where it's like, okay, well now like it's just getting ridiculous, and then I try not to think about it, and then not thinking about it makes
it worse.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna think about it, right?
Don't do it. Don't laugh.
Nope, not that one. Wait, hold on. I'm saving that one. This one.
Ooh, that ad was so awesome.
I know, isn't it awesome? I'm hoping they go.
I watched that ad like on a loop. I was like, hey.
Yeah, John and I are fighting with the band. John's fighting with the band right now. Make sure, not fighting. That's wrong. So he's fighting with YouTube and getting permission from the band to use it, and I think it's going to work out. Obviously, we're not merchandising that a lot, so.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to step out for just a second, and I'm going to let you guys chat over this incredible Greyhawk Awakening video.
I love the music of it.
I know, right?
My custom orchestra music, thank you so much.
Like, so pumped up and ready to
Yeah,
go.
100%. It totally does. I 100% agree.
Ready to fight, guys. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's kick the butt. Okay, so
Yes.
my foot is swollen.
Oh
Because I was out in the country and I was like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna live my hobbit life and like not wear shoes and like, you know, step in the moss and whatever.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so I stepped on a bee and then I got stuck.
I've stepped on a wasp before, and that is the worst.
I was like, oh, and I looked down and it was like still stuck in my foot, and I was like, oh god, and then like ripped away. So yeah, my foot is like, my entire foot is swollen. But the most bizarre thing ever, my friend was like, put honey on it. And I was like, what? And then yeah, just put honey on it. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, at this point it hurts anyway. I'm just gonna try whatever.
Right.
And I put the honey on it, and it like seriously just, it made the pain go away.
Yep.
It's the most bizarre thing ever. I never heard of that before.
Honey is magical. It is like the world's oldest preservative for one thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's been used medicinally for, you know,
Forever.
ever.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I was just like, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. And I was just like rubbing it. I'm like, I'm the weird person like rubbing honey on my toe. And I was like, oh damn, it is working. Like, it's still swollen. Like, it's not.
Right.
It's really swollen, but like, it's the pain part of it is gone. Like, it's not. It doesn't hurt. But
Yeah, that's the first thing that is the worst part about getting a sting is just the pain of it.
And then it like gets worse. Like, it like creeps up and it just like continues to gradually get worse and worse and worse. And I was like, oh no, I just want to be a hobbit, stand on the grass. I can't die.
You just wanna, experience that connection to nature.
Yes.
You're embracing your Lilith, your druid side.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That's so awesome. That I definitely want to try that game that you were talking about. Where did you find that game?
The creator of that game actually makes tons of little single-page RPGs that you can do that are D6 based, and that was just one of the ones that just sounded really funny, and I wanted.
It does.
No, I liked it a lot. So I thought it was pretty cool. I'll check it out, and thanks for doing that. And we don't want to talk over then. Well, we can't talk over, but let's go ahead and get started. The incredible DCG ad.
Yeah. Look at that.
Hey Jay, good to see you. No worries, my friend. It's a low-key stream tonight. Atris, yes sir. I want to get an ad from you like this, Atris. Guaranteed to roll more nat 20s, except not really. Hey, thank you for the sub, Weberling1709. And we are ready to go live. And welcome to Loremaster's Arcanum. We're on, I think, number 13 tonight. Hello, everybody. We're joined, as always, by my co-host, co-owner, amazing, just sort of everything, Evelyn. She is incredible. And then we're joined tonight by Vivi, also known as TheDMsQuest, and we'll pop those creds in the chat here in just a bit. So we're gonna have a fun chat tonight, and we really just want to talk about all things D&D. I've got a couple announcements, little things to talk about, and then we're gonna really just put Vivi on the spot. We want to grill her and, see if we can maybe make her giggle, maybe make her angry. I don't know. I've never seen her angry. I don't know if she does get angry. Maybe she does. No, probably not.
And so, sure if Winston got killed, she'd get angry.
Oh yeah, that would do it. That would do it for sure. And so this is just a low-key, fun stream tonight. Thanks for everybody that's already on with us tonight. And so before I get started, Evelyn, anything you'd like to say?
Oh yeah, one thing I will let everyone know is we now have new channel points rewards that you can spend your channel points on, and it's been a long time in the making, but you can go now and you can now gift advantage and disadvantage via your channel points. You can still do it via bits as well, but we have that as an option for use for channel points. You can also restore spells and abilities for a single player, restore spells and abilities for the entire party, and limit one per viewer. You can get a blue box t-shirt for 100,000 channel points or a blue box mug for 125,000 channel points. So yeah, you can grab those things now and spend your lots and lots of channel points, because I know everybody has a few and have wanted things to spend them on, so I made things you can spend them on. These are not just any shirts or mugs. These are really nice, full color, great. They're pretty darn cool. So all right, thank you, Evelyn, as always. Vivi, what would you like to say to start us off tonight?
I don't know. What am I starting?
I'll put you on the spot, like right off the bat. I want to get the nerves out of the way. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Right, just say something random, whatever you want.
Something random?
Yeah.
No. You can eat 8 bananas, and that'll be your full potassium intake.
Oh,
that's good to know.
Per day?
Per day.
You need 8 a day for the proper potassium intake?
Have a lot of potassium.
I just mean, like, you could eat. You don't have to eat 8 bananas. You can get potassium from anywhere. But I'm just saying, if you were specifically looking to hit your potassium intake,
and all you had was bananas and water, you'd need 8 to get your potassium goal.
Yes.
Wow, I think I'm really short on my potassium goal then.
Do you not eat 3 bananas every morning, or no?
I have bananas, yeah, but not 8. I don't eat 8. I'm not a gorilla. I don't eat 8 a day, so. No, that's fantastic. All right, okay, so look, I'm excited tonight. Like, Vivi is not just a great part of Greyhawk Awakening. She's a contributor to the community. She's someone who is a DM. I want to talk about her DMing. I want to talk about her mini painting and so many other things. But one of the most important things that she does is she seduces Winston. And if you have not seen, this is our Winston emoji on our Discord channel, which I'm sure Evelyn can pop. Yeah, at Love at First Nay.
I keep it by always.
All right, and so like I know I'm failing here. Hey Steve, good to see you. Blood Wild. Do you have a banana phone? Krenzalin. Oh, good to see Krenzalin. So. I shouldn't do this at the beginning. I'm a horrible promoter, but I can't wait. I want to show you. You ready? Mm-hmm. So this is the emoji. This is Winston by the incredible Frederica Draw.
No, she did it. Yeah,
she did.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Is it? And look at how gorgeous he is. He's got the Order of Ulek heraldry on his saddle, whatever you call that. But what I told her is give him human expression and those eyes and that face, the wonderful mane. And this was all sort of prescribed by Shorewin, or Terry. He wanted the chestnut color. He wanted a little bit of white on the chin. So this is the beautiful, like, do you not love him?
That's a handsome seed right there.
The only thing that's missing is a braid with flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, I can make that happen. Don't think I won't. All right, so okay, now another one with the braid with flowers. Oh, okay, thank you. Write that down. I'm writing that down.
His expression looks a little exasperated.
Yeah,
like Sherwin just asked him to carry Brim out.
And he's like, really?
It is kind of a really look. So thank you so much. Nay, sir, not south at all. Blood Wild, good to see Steve. And then Atris. He is a little bit thick. I don't know, Atris, do you think we might see a Winston Mini? Is that possible?
You better paint one.
I don't want to put pressure. What's that?
No, 100% pressure. Put pressure on him.
No, okay.
You're painting.
All right, Atris, give us a Winston Mini.
It's not up for debate.
Yeah, oh, he's a main M-A-N-E character. Well done, Steve. That's the best pun of the night thus far. He's a main character. Golly, wow, dude, how do you come up with this crap? That's awesome. All right, thank you. And so I really want to do one, both an independent Winston and I want one with Shorewind. So kind of a Shorewind beside Winston. Because the one I've had...
Winston, exactly.
Yeah, where is that one? Oh, here we go. I've been using this one. And, you know, it's good because it's Cavalier, but he's white, and that doesn't really... Okay, John, don't be lazy. Paint that horse brown. Okay, I guess I could. Or I could ask my friend Atris to do something much better than that. So, anyway, that is our gorgeous Winston. So let's talk for a second, Vivi, about... let's start with additions. Because you are obviously new to 3.5, 2E, 1E, which is what we run on Blue Box. Wait, I'm going to back up. Tell us about the Tat. I see that every time you lift that arm. Tell us what that is.
It's the Deathly Hallows. I love Harry Potter.
So Deathly Hallows. Why do you love Harry Potter? When did you get that? Like, why did you get that? I think it's cool, by the way.
It's my first tattoo. I know people always like see it and wonder. I like the Deathly Hallows because it wasn't an obvious Harry Potter tattoo unless somebody knows Harry Potter. Then like, and that's how I find my best friends. And then that was my first tattoo that I ever got. It was just like a big part of my childhood. Like the actors were the same age as I was kind of growing up, and then like just reading the books and stuff like that. Also, too. I feel like this is like, it was a really good introduction because when I was in elementary school, one of my friends had a Harry Potter birthday. And this is when like it was only like the books, it was just the books, like the books had just come out. It wasn't like, there was no movies, there was no nothing. So that was like my first real introduction to like Harry Potter and like the magic side of it. And I remember specifically her mom had Coke and she put Pop Rocks in it to make it magical, and I was like, freaking blew my mind. At that
Pop
age, I was
Rocks.
like, what? Like, what is this sorcery? So, like, I just got, like, she just did such a good job at doing that birthday party, and I was just like, man, like, I got so excited about it, and then that's just, like, it's just a big part of my childhood, I think. That's why I enjoy it so much. So, yeah.
No, I love that. So, Evelyn, I'm going to let you do... I always dominate these. I really wanted you to have some more. So why don't you ask her a couple questions before I jump back in?
All right. Okay. Vivi.
Yes.
Tell everybody why you're known as the Beholder Queen.
Because I have a mild obsession with painting beholders.
Mild? What, mild?
Just mild.
No. This is like, someone who downs a fifth of vodka nightly saying he's a mild alcoholic. Like you had a huge obsession with beholders.
Yes, I do. They're very fun to paint. The sculpts are amazing, and they're just like cool beasts in general. Anyway, so I you know what it is? I love painting eyes. Like eyes. On beholders are like something that I really,
you get many, right? Yeah.
Yes, So I think that's where that started, and then because I continuously search for different beholder models, a friend of mine in passing was like, "You're the Beholder Queen," and I was like, do I deserve this title? No. Am I going to take it? Yes. And then it was more of like an irony thing, and then now it's become a whole thing. So
it's your brand.
My brand. I took it and ran. So
I love because no one else has that, right? It's unique,
right? Yeah.
And beholders all like I've got a couple here, and they're nowhere up to your standard. So this is a This is one of the, I think the Whiz Kids. Yeah, it's Whiz Kids one. So sort of standard beholder, pre-painted. Yeah, you got that one. Yep. And this was a custom painted one. My wife did this one. It's pretty cool.
Ooh,
He's not.
Yeah, the Reaper model. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, just okay. Flex on me. Go ahead, Vivi. Flex on me.
I know.
Tell me every beholder ever made in all of human history. You've got it. Like so. Okay, so that's. Thank you, Evelyn. This was great direct. So show us, Vivi, your favorite beholder. I want you to pull out, if you can.
It's upstairs. My painting.
Okay,
my
when we
upstairs,
I don't know. Let me take a break. I'm embarrassing you right now with a picture of you, by the way, if you've seen this. Right?
Oh God. They're the one that I think my favorite one so far is the one that you like too, John. The blue and purple one.
Oh gosh, that's so gorgeous. Can you send me that pic?
Yes.
Or like if you send it to me, I'll put it up on the stream here while we're talking.
Yeah. Okay, we can still talk while I look.
All right, so a quick side track. I do want to thank Pat66, who I don't think is on yet, but I believe he did this amazing. He's done all of our logos in transparent, gray, black, blue, all kinds of different colors. I really like this gray and black one. I don't know why it says something monochromatic. Looks cool to me.
Me too. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So maybe I need to start doing some shirts and hats with this logo on it. Okay.
Totally
all right.
different.
Boom.
I'm a my color schemes are usually black.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're like me. That's
White.
so me. I'm monochromatic. I love black. Everything I do is black. My cars have been black. All my clothes have been black.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll stop there. All right, so...
or don't.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, for me, like, all my clothes were black because I did theater for so long.
Oh.
Then when you're backstage,
right.
you have to wear all blacks, and so I looked at my closet recently, and I was like, I have so many black clothes, I need to get some color in here.
I know, it's so bad. Hey, you're like, do I want this black shirt or this black shirt? Or this black one or this black one?
This black one is blacker than this black one.
This one is more gray black than black.
And this one's red black versus blue black, you know.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I've got so much black in my closet. All my cars have been black. I don't know why. Whatever. All right. So we are boring the viewers to death, I'm sure, with the discussion of colors. So
I sent it on Discord.
All right. Okay, good. I'll pull it up here in a second. So, let's talk about editions again. Let's go dive a bit deeper. So you're a 5e player originally. This is your first sort of older edition style. Talk to us about. Well, let me back up. What got you into D&D?
Okay, so I always wanted to play D&D, but I never really knew a group or somebody to get
Okay, so I'm
into
sorry,
it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to. Why did you always? Where did you hear about D&D? How old were you when you heard of it? Why did you want to play D&D? Because like most people don't even know what it is.
I kind of heard like a while, like maybe in like my early 20s. I was like, oh, okay, like I've heard about it. It sounds like something I like just kind of like the lore and using your imagination and like the idea of it. I didn't really know too much about it, but from what I knew about it, I was like, that sounds cool. It's something that I would probably like. Again, just finding a group was like really difficult. And I think even just like as a girl in D&D, like going into like a game shop being like, hey, like, can I play? It's kind of like, it's just really nerve-wracking, I guess. Like,
oh gosh, are you kidding? Like, yeah, like I'm with you. I didn't even interrupt, but like so my wife and my 21-year-old daughter, they've walked into game shops with me, and it's a different thing. Like it's.
You're like, are you lost? I'm like, no,
I'm very intentionally here.
Yeah. Really? Do you belong? What? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So like, I think the idea of like, I'm sure like if I would go there, I would be welcomed. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying like, it was just nerve wracking to go in, especially it's like, do these people have time to sit and teach me something? You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like maybe I'll try to like figure it out on my own. And then just on your own, it kind of seemed a little bit overwhelming. So actually my neighbors 2 doors down, it was really funny because I was talking to them, you see them in passing and you whatever. And then I was talking to them about something and then they were tracking my tattoo, actually, ironically enough. And then I remember specifically he looked at me and he's like, you're a bigger nerd than you seem. I'm like, yes, I am, thank you. And then we kind of got talking.
Were you flattered or insulted by that comment?
No, flattered.
Okay, all right.
I'm not like I'm trying to hide it, but I think it's just like people don't, I guess, like see me as somebody like that. I guess in particular, I don't know why, but so then we kind of got talking about like D&D, and he's like, yeah, we play every Friday, and I was like, oh, I thought you guys were just like cool and hanging out and like drinking on Fridays. Like I was like, oh, because I'd see them, but I didn't know they were playing D&D 2 doors down the entire time. So they extended an olive branch, and I started playing with them, and then and that's kind of how I got into it. And I think it was 2 years now, 2.5 years that I've been playing.
All right. So when, by the way, this is not your mini paint right here. This is not, right? What I have up on the screen, this is not your paint, is it?
That's my paint, yeah.
No, it can't be. No.
Yeah.
No, it's too good. No, it's not. No. You stole this from someone on the. This is yours?
It's my secret.
Yeah, I'm lying. I've seen this before. This is freaking incredible. I mean.
Yeah.
You've been painting for how long?
October of 2019, so November, December, January, February, March, April, May,
All right,
June, July. So 10 months? 10 months?
I'm throwing away all my minis. I'm done. I'm done. How? Like, I painted since I was like 12, like 9. You do this stuff like, golly, I have no gift. You're incredible.
Thank you. I'm really proud of that one. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, it's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so the chat, they're all laughing at me. That's fine. So as you've gotten involved, Vivi, with, well, let me back up. When I reach out to you, you kind of might have known what Blue Box was. Maybe you'd seen. Why did you agree to play in Greyhawk Awakening? Start there. And then what has it sort of brought to you once you started playing?
I think just being like, when I started to DM, I became the forever DM. And like, so then I was like, oh, okay. And then I think when you reach out to me, you're like, yeah, as a DM, like it's nice to get to play and stuff like that every now and then consistently. I was a bit apprehensive at first because I was like, oh, I've never done streaming before and I don't know what it's going to be like.
You'd never streamed, really?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Oh. So I gave you both old school and streaming at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
I was just like, oh man. Like, what
You're
am I
so
doing?
brave. Bravo. Bravo. I had no idea.
No, I never fucking streamed anything. Sorry, F-bomb. But yeah, like I've never streamed, never done anything like this before, and I was just like, oh, what the heck, why not like put myself out there and put myself in an uncomfortable position and see what happens. But it's really great, and I think I've kind of mentioned before, like on a story thing, that like the lore, like learning a lot about the lore and how deep the lore goes for 3.5 is our Greyhawk is like super awesome, and just a lot of things, getting more comfortable, obviously, as people were saying, on being streaming and being watched, I guess, so to speak. I'm getting more comfortable with it, and like my weirdness is seeping out, so no more secrets there.
Well, hey, no, like you're preaching to the choir, man. I'm a professional. I lead companies, and my weirdness seeping out through D&D. It's been a tough thing for me to embrace too. Yeah. I guess we should do a whole show on that, like coming out honestly, as a D&D player, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because people are always like, "Oh, you play D&D," and I'm like, "Yeah, like whatever." Yeah, it's like
really,
it's like you super shocked.
Really? D&D, really? That's awesome. All right, so. Hey, Pat66, we talked about you a minute ago, so thank you so much for all you've done, and you inspired us to have some pretty cool stuff with Winston. I showed a minute ago, I'll show again later. Yep. So, you said a moment ago that you didn't have experience with older styles, and what's that been like for you, switching to... it's 3.5, but it's also got a lot of 1E, 2E elements. And is it confusing? Has it been hard? Or has it been intuitive? Like, what's that felt like to you?
So I normally play 5th edition. I played once 3.5, but it was like, I kind of got thrown into a game that was already like well established. So like, I think I I think I had like a level 19 like sorcerer or something like that. So it was just like it was like overload because I was like, there's way too many things. Like, but it was just a quick game that we played. Other than playing this right now, I think for the most part the mechanics are pretty much similar. So I don't have too much issues, and I feel like. Especially like when we're streaming and stuff like that, or if we have any questions, I feel like you resolve, like either you or Evelyn both resolve them really quickly and explain them in a way that's really easy to understand. So like I don't have any, like switching over to 3.5 hasn't been like an issue for me, because I think both of you guys do a really good job at kind of leading and instructing us in a way that's easy to understand.
Yeah, I think that's great. So look, I want to pause here for a second. I want to let the viewers ask questions. So anybody on the chat, we got a lot of folks on tonight. You have a question for Vivi, especially if you have a really hard one. If you have one that's going to make her sweat and nervous, that's a great question to ask. While we're waiting for that, let's switch back to the idea of mini painting. So you're new at this, 2019, and you're producing incredible art like. Oh, let me find my image here. This. What's your philosophy on mini painting? How did you learn to do this kind of stuff so quickly?
So I have always been very creative in the sense of different things. Like not so much sketching. Like I don't mind sketching, but it's not something that piques my interest. I do a lot of different things. Like I embroider and and all these different things. The thing that I found is that as a creative outlet, D&D has been like the greatest creative outlet for me, because usually I learn something and then once I've learned how to do it, I get bored. So I'm like, whatever, it's done. Like you learn how to cross stitch or you learn how to embroider, it's done. Like, you learn how to sew, you know how to sew great.
I don't even know what those words you just said. That was like, you're speaking another language to me. I don't know what that is.
It's okay. I understand. I do all those things.
All right, Evelyn, you take the interview over. I don't know what I'm doing. So you guys got this, all right? I'm gonna sit back and listen.
Yeah. So miniature painting, when I knew about it in D&D, like I was like, ooh, okay, like that sounds interesting, but I was kind of nervous to start because I wasn't sure like how good I'd be at it or if I like it. The thing that when I started doing miniature painting, I actually find it very soothing. Like I'll just put music on, like music with no lyrics usually, and then I can paint for like 4 hours. Like I can just get lost and paint for 4 hours. But it's miniature painting to me is like there's so many different styles, there's so many different techniques that you can learn, and I think those are the things that I really enjoy as a creative outlet to and crave to push myself and to challenge myself to try something different, try a different technique. Like every time I paint, I try to focus on something that I want to work on. Like there's things that I've worked on, like textures, like clothing textures, or building up paints on a wash, or working on faces, working on eyes. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I enjoy it so much, because I can continue to push myself and learn more in that aspect. As well as just like I said, like D&D as a creative outlet on its own, like writing, like, you know what I mean? Like storytelling, writing, like role playing, all of those things is so great. And I just think that as adults, you don't really get to use your imagination anymore.
Oh, yes, bravo, yes.
It's like you never do, and it's like you go to work and you do your job and you come home and it's the same.
Run the grind and punch the clock and do the things you're supposed to do. Get to the meetings, hit the Zoom calls 100%. Now in the COVID world, and get your documents off. Where's the creativity? I love that.
There is none. Yeah. So, and I think like. And that's a major part of like my DMing style too, is just more lax because it's for fun. Like it's just something that I like when I DM. I just DM for fun because I enjoy it, and I like people being out of like that realm of just like doing your daily, like pretend to be somebody else in a different world and just escape for a bit. And I think it's so great for that. I love everything, every creative outlet.
Well, okay, so you're messing me all up because I wanted Evelyn to ask more questions, then I want to talk about minis and textures with clothing, but now you put me in a whole other direction. So like you've hit the main thing I want to talk about. So this idea of like creativity and outlets, like we are struggling, and especially in the COVID world and all the, you're in Canada, we're in the US, but it's the same. Like we're all struggling with this creative outlets. So for you, why do you think I suck as a DM?
I would disagree with that statement.
Right?
That is a load of shit.
What? No, I'm being funny, obviously. Like, I'm not looking for false praise. But this idea of like, how can you just, because I'm kind of serious. Like I love laughter. You see that. I encourage it. I love joking.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're a great player in my campaign. But I'm also trying to create this immersive narrative. To me, the magic, the wonder. Well, hey, your tattoo. Harry Potter, like when you're in it, you're watching it, like you feel immersed. It's like there's some funny parts, but there's a lot of like, ooh, you just feel like you're in that moment. And that's what I really want to create as a DM. So for you, as someone who both DMs and now plays in another campaign, what do you think that blend should look like? Or do you have any suggestions? Like I'm literally asking things you could think I should do better as a DM to create that immersion, or should it be more like lighthearted? What would you like to see in the campaign?
I think you do a good job at mixing both the immersion and like keeping it lighthearted, which is nice. Like I like that mix as well. Like I do at the same point like to be immersed in certain situations. Like even during like that moment with Brim, right? And Tisa? That was like a very immersed, I feel like, a moment. But then after, because we were so immersed in it, it was really nice to have that like lightheartedness break afterwards. And I think that's a really great thing. For DMing and playing, I think I try not to know too much. It is that hard because then you know the mechanics, right? So then you're just like, oh, and then sometimes you try to like turn that part of your brain off, like the DMing part of your brain. But I like playing because then you get different ideas of what your DMing style wants to look like, or what you think that your DMing style.
Okay, so I want to dive in on that, and I want Evelyn to talk since I told her earlier I wanted her to. But I want to talk about the chat too, because like I don't know what's going on with our chat tonight. Like Grendewolf said, I'm too nice as a DM. So
I disagrei.
I've killed so many. I've got like 4-player deaths and like 10 or 8 NPC deaths. I got to be more violent. I don't know. I got to kill more.
We almost had a TPK last time.
Good job, Grendewolf.
It was very stressful. Like I am not. I'm not ready to go back to Rune Lords yet.
No, I love that. So, and then Redbeard, the DM's biceps are too big. No, come on, I'm not going to flex for you, no. But they're good. So I'll cover more. You make me feel bad for not having soundscapes and full terrain. Oh, Phantom. All right, so look, let's. I think I've talked about this before, but let me reiterate. You know, this stuff is unnecessary. This is just fun, like extras. It's really mainly for Twitch, you know, and to sort of increase the immersion. But I think it was, did I do this on Loremaster Arcanum, Evelyn, recently, or?
We talked about it somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was actually Tuesday before a game.
I think so. I talked about my trip to Gatlinburg with my family, right? Yeah. Okay, so look, I believe if you can't get in a room by yourself with dice and 3 players, or 2 or 4 or whatever, and create a game, you're not a DM. You don't need all this stuff. This is all extra, and it's sort of it's like theater props. But you could have somebody that sits in front of a camera, or a few people in theater, that can create a sense of immersion and joy, and that's what a great DM should be. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not saying I'm a great DM. A DM should be able to do that. You don't need all of this stuff, but I like this stuff because to me it's fun. I tinker with it. I think it adds something for the players. So let's go there. Evelyn, Vivi, I'm going to shut up. You guys talk about that.
As a props maker, I find it very important that people make things that need props. Please. My
precious! I love that. That's awesome, Ben.
Theater of the mind is great, but props are also great.
Exactly, yeah, and like both, right?
Keep her employed.
But yeah, I mean, do we want to go to some of the questions? Because there's been several questions for Vivi in the chat. That
you take it away, Evelyn.
Okay, so the first question that we had was from Captain Redbeard, and he was asking, "What is your art background?"
Ooh.
This background?
Your art background.
No, your art, not the one behind you.
Like not this sort of background. Your history, your training.
I have zero art background. My background is in healthcare. I don't art.
Oh, so what you're saying is you just have innate talent.
Hair flip.
Yeah.
No, I do not have any background in art. I have been working in healthcare for like as long as I can remember. Pretty much my first job has been a healthcare job. I love it. I super enjoy it. It's very rewarding. But yeah, like I said, I think I always had that like, I don't know, like that knack for art, I guess. It was just putting it in the right, finding the right outlet for it in the right way is what I think is what it was for me.
Sorry, I'm messing with my camera here, trying to get. I'm showing all my paints instead of all my cool stuff behind me here. So that was so distracting. I'm sorry, Evelyn. Continue.
Okay, so here's another question: what class have you not played that you'd like to try?
Which class have I not played?
That you would like to try.
Okay, that's hard. I always go for casters, like always, because magic, duh. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't really thought about it. We did actually. I played a game where the DM had made pre-made characters. Look at John's having a giggle.
I'm sorry. Our chat. I'm sorry. They're distracting. These guys kill me. That's so funny. Sorry. Go ahead. It's not you. It's not you. I promise. Continue.
No. It's okay. No. So what he did was he pre-made characters and he rolled them up, and when we got there, we picked them, and I ended up getting a barbarian, which was like the total opposite of what a sorcerer is. So I had no idea what was going on. Barbarian was fun. I think sticking with casters, I think I'd want to try a wizard because I've never played a wizard before.
Never? A sorcerer, wizard, nothing like that before?
I just played sorcerer. I'm very biased towards it.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to test you right here. So sorcerer, what's the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard?
The wizard, you have to prepare your spells, and it's like the spell book, right? So you have to. You have like a big lot of spells, but you just have to prepare them. To
memorize, right? And your prime stat is, as a wizard...
Wisdom?
No. So
intelligence.
Intelligence, right? As a druid, it's okay. Don't feel bad. Like I've been doing this for 40 years. Like don't like you're crushing it. You're doing great. So as a wizard, it's intelligence. A mage, anything based on sort of traditional arcane, old school D&D, it's intelligence. Yeah. Sorcerers run off charisma, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so the difference is you get fewer options, right? So you don't have as many different things that you can do, but you can pick from them each day without pre-memorizing as a sorcerer, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you've played that, but you've never played a traditional wizard, right?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, Evelyn, continue.
Okay, another question. Have you played or considered playing any other type of RPGs? If so, what genre? And I know you've played Call of Cthulhu. Because I actually watched your session.
Yeah, she's been,
I do play Call of Cthulhu. I think that one, it's not very often. I have a schedule of some sort. I'm terrible at I'm terrible at it, but it's like, once every like couple months or whatever, I'll play Call of Cthulhu. I actually do enjoy it. It's a different style of play, less combat and more like investigative work, which is kind of fun, and like a different twist. Also, rolling low instead of wanting to roll high is like the biggest mind trip ever, because you're like, no, actually that's good. Never mind. So I am definitely interested in trying different types of RPGs. I'm very open to it. But yeah, like I'll try anything in the same thing. And same with like Call of Cthulhu, I found like even like because it was a different mechanics, it was still quite easy to pick up. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much almost like very similar on the same board across the board, and then there's just like a few things that are different that aren't too hard to pick up, I think, when you play.
Yeah, for sure.
You played Call of Cthulhu too, right?
I have not played it, but I've seen a lot of plays of it, and it seems like such a fun game because of all of the nature of what it is. So I love it.
I played it a long time ago. I know the mythos. I love it. But let's take a quick detour. But Evelyn, you keep us on track with the chat's going really well. What era? Oh yeah, what era did you play? Do you know?
1920s.
1920s, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say it typically is you run it around the turn of the century, sort of. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So wait. Before say that because I want that. But let's talk about different role playing games we played. So let's just do a quick round robin. I don't know why this seems fun to me. So let's start with you, Evelyn. Give me 3 different role playing games you played. Then we'll go to Vivi, and then we'll come to me, and we'll just go around till we run out. And
I mean, I've only ever played only tabletop role-playing game has been D&D and more D&D. So,
okay.
But as far as other role-playing games I've played World of Warcraft. I've done a lot of role-play in that. I've also played Final Fantasy XIV, which is a role-playing game that is in a different sort of universe. It's more, I would say, steampunk almost style with magic.
I like steampunk, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, D&D is my only tabletop RPG that I've played, though I've looked into some other stuff and been interested. That's why I want to DM eventually, so I can try.
Yeah,
and I want you to. It's coming soon. Evelyn is going to DM on Blue Box, and I'm going to be a player in that campaign. I'm not going to be the lore keeper like she does, though. I was just going to say right now,
gotta keep those notes.
No, she has talents she types so fast. I can't do that. I don't know how she. Anyway, so all right. So let's go to you, Vivi. What role playing games have you played? Thank you so much, everybody on the viewers. Hey, by the way, if you're not following us, give us a follow, and thank you for everybody that's in the chat. Vivi, what role playing games?
Just the 2, D&D and Call of Cthulhu. Those are the only 2 that I have played.
All right. Well, this is not fun.
You?
This is now it's just like
well,
me.
We don't have as much experience.
Yeah, ready as much experience. Yeah, I see what you did there, Vivi. Yeah, we're not as old as you are, John. Boom! Slam
I never said that. That's your own words.
Well, look, I'll tell you this. I played more than 2 by the time I was 19. So there.
Okay.
No, I've done. Yeah, certainly, of course, D&D, all editions of D&D except for I've done Middle-earth or Iron Crown Enterprises, Loremaster. I did a James Bond-style role-playing game, which is really cool. I've done different worlds in D&D. I've done Planescape. I've done Dark Sun. I did Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, Eberron, of course, and then I've done some. I don't even remember, like a Fallout. I don't remember what the name was. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me. There was a Fallout style, like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max. You're in a nuclear world D&D, which I love that. Dark Sun. Oh my gosh, love it. So I played all of these different role-playing games, and I keep coming back to the traditional medieval D&D style tropes. All right, so what's the chat saying? Gamma World? No, it was not that.
Dark Sun?
No, Dark Sun I definitely played.
The new TSR is publishing Top Secret.
Oh, no, I did not know that, Puppet, and I've not played that. I've never done. Okay, so good question. So I've never done Boot Hill or any Western style role playing. Now, I have played Red Dead Redemption. I think it's a pretty cool video game, but I've never actually played an in-person role playing game that was based on that. Aftermath. Oh, that might have been it, Tim. I think it was Aftermath. I'm gonna have to go. I'm no, definitely not Twilight. I promise you. Listen. Hey, thank you for the sub, Lord Fort. This is like 1988, 87, so it was definitely not Twilight 2000. All right, Evelyn, muted. So yeah, it was Aftermath, Tim. I'm pretty sure Tim's right. All right, so Evelyn, back to you.
Yeah, there was one other question I see up here, and it's from Bloodwild. He says, do you talk to your miniatures while painting them?
Oh!
And do they ever question what you say to them?
That's a great question.
Yes, I talk to them all the time.
Oh, really? I've never done that. So that must be your secret, because your minis are better than mine.
I just swear at them mostly.
Oh, you swear?
If it's not going well, usually I swear at them. So maybe I've never. You know what? Maybe I should work on words of affirmation.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't coax some affirmation out of them, but you just you get them with the heavy swear words.
Yeah, like SOB or like it's not good.
Go ahead, Evelyn.
And then the last question I see here is from Phantom. He just asked it is, can you tell us about your first session as a DM?
Okay, so I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I thought it was just easier for me. I did a homebrew for I made up a one-shot homebrew for my first session, just because I felt like it wasn't as much pressure in a book to follow specifics, and then if I messed it up, at least I had wiggle room to kind of like fix it, right? I did actually, if you like do a deep dive in my Instagram account, like I did cartography. I made miniatures out of shrink. Do you ever like that shrink paper? Have you ever seen those?
The little shrinky things, and you color them and then you put them in the oven. Yeah,
like I like did everything from scratch. Like I drew up miniatures, and then I shrunk them to size. And then I made those, and I glued like little miniatures like that. And then I did cartography, and it was just a one shot that I had created with that incorporated a lot of Harry Potter lore. Because why not? You know, like I feel like that's like a lot of like where you pull inspiration from, right? When you're DMing. It's really funny. I remember like being super nervous, and then once we kind of got it started, I just realized how fun it is to sit behind the screen and to, like, you think that you know what they're going to do, and then they totally don't do that.
Yes.
Or, like, things that you think are like, oh, that's so obvious, 100%, they're going to get it. And then they're like...
That's happened with this campaign, isn't it? As a DM, like you always run that balance because you want to create something where you're trying to guide them but not railroad them, and you think you're being subtle, and then they completely miss it. What's that feel like for you? Like, what do you do?
Then I'm just like, oh god, and I think like I'm getting better at it. I think the more you DM, the more you get better. And I think, again, just using your imagination, you get those like juices flowing, and then you figure out how to be more creative in day-to-day life, right? And just thinking, okay, well, if they're doing this now, it's like, okay, click, what can I think of, you know? And I feel like you get better with that over time. Yes, you can lead a horse to water, but Winston only
drinks what he wants to drink. Winston, if you didn't see it earlier, we got several new viewers. Like Winston, he runs the show. So on our Discord, that's the Winston emoji. So if you're not on our Discord, which those creds are dropping right now, I know because I just know. And then the real Winston is going to launch next Tuesday night on Greyhawk Awakening. But you guys are getting a preview here tonight. Like no one else has seen this, so you're lucky for being on Loremaster's Arcanum tonight. You're seeing the actual gore. Like, and let me just, you know, we're gonna get one with him braided. But look at that gorgeous horse. He needs his hair braided for sure.
With flowers.
The heraldry.
It's a true addition.
He's just, is that not a beautiful horse? That is Winston. All right, sorry. Continue.
The most majestic
most majestic steed ever.
I'm sad Shorewood's missing out on the art.
I know. Of course.
All right, so Evelyn, any other questions? The chat's going so fast I can't keep it up.
I don't see any other questions, but hey, thank you. Is the glass hoof full or hoof empty? Nice, guys.
Hoof full. Yeah, the puns here, they get way out of control. Like I can't even get that.
I appreciate a good pun all day long.
Everybody that's been prefacing their questions, by the way, with the word question and big letters has been extremely helpful. So keep doing that.
Oh, that's so helpful. Oh, good idea.
Helps.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
So you can see it, yeah.
Exactly. All right, so give Winston stats like an artifact. Ooh, ego. So don't think I don't have ideas about that, Steve. I'm already thinking about some stats. I gave Josh, who plays Brim, his XP. I gave everybody their XP. When I got to Machik or Terry, and I gave him his XP. He got, I think, a few thousand, a couple thousand. I mean, he's only been in 1.5 campaigns. Yeah. I think I gave Winston 749,000 experience points, something like that. So Winston is already way ahead of all the.
Yeah, he's level 20.
He's like level 15 or something already. Yeah.
What you don't know is he's off in the background fighting like gods while everybody's sleeping.
Everybody's sleeping.
Exactly. Yes. He is in fact the hero of the campaign. Just no one knew it.
Yes.
Okay. We have a question from Rory. How much paint has been spilled?
I will not disclose that amount of paint.
Okay, so look, so this is I'm a hack here. I got my paints back there. You can still see them kind of. I'm looking at this. Yeah, there you can kind of still see them over there. I have a problem where they dry out because I've got so many paints and I might not use one for 6 months and then I come back and they're dry. So now I've got a philosophy like just dump the paint, use it, buy it again, but don't let it sit there and dry out. What have you guys experienced? Because you're a mini painter too, Evelyn.
Yeah. I use a little I think it's War Paints is what the brand is, and they're in the little squeezy bottles. So you have to I always forget to shake the first one when I start to get painting my mini because I haven't done it in a while, and then I squeeze it and it's just blah.
Yeah, it's just the oily bit.
Yeah, those
Army Painter. Yeah,
Army Painter. Those ones.
But I really like these too. These the Citadels. I like the Citadels. These kind of canisters that you dip into. Those have been cool paints for me, so I don't know if you guys have used those, but
I
have everything. Yeah.
I always.
Oh, you have everything. Okay, well, yeah. Just you're flexing on me all night long, Vivi. You want this show? Here, I'm going to send you my mic. You can take everything.
But yeah, I just grab a scrap piece of cardboard and start squeezing paints out and mixing my paints and stuff, and then watering down what needs to be watered down. And I always keep one jar for washing brushes and one just for wetting my paints down and stuff as I go. So I usually have it all set up before I start so that everything's there.
Yeah, and then you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I have. I don't have any loyalty. I know some people do hold loyalty to certain brands of paint. I actually like to kind of mix it up. And I have all different kinds, Army Painter, Vallejo, green stuff.
Yep.
All different kinds. I really do enjoy it. I do use a wet palette, which I find keeps my paints moist for longer, and I can paint for a longer period of time. Actually, I'm also my account is also known for me spilling paint. That's why Roy brings it up. In my defense, in my defense, I work nights. And a lot of times I get off work and then I'm like, it's a good idea if I want to paint. And then that's usually when I spill paint because I'm half awake and not all there. And then I knock something over. So that's usually why I spill.
Okay, that's fair. So look, I blew you up really big here for the last few minutes of our session so everybody can see you. So you said, I don't even know what's a wet palette. I'm a dummy.
So you can buy one for a lot of money, or you can do what I do, and I just made one. And I got the stuff from the dollar store, all the stuff from the dollar store. So all of what it is a low profile.
I'm sorry. I mean, you see our chat. Oh, whoa! Did Gimbal cast enlarge on Vivi or Vivian HD? Sorry, go ahead.
IMAX.
Yeah, I'm like, boom, Vivi.
Here I am. No, so basically what a wet palette is I just have a low profile Tupperware lid, and then I just use a chamois cloth that I cut to size, and then you just use parchment paper, and then so it keeps the parchment paper is porous enough to let moisture through, but not dilute your paint.
Wow!
And then you can Yep. And then you can keep it. It keeps your paint, like I said, moist for a long period of time. So I can put the lid on it and then essentially have if I've mixed colors on a paint, for something, and I'm working on something over a long period of time, I can mix the colors in there and then I can just put the lid on it, and it's good for 5 days. I've gone 5 days and my paint is still wet from putting it on the wet palette.
I actually plastic wrap mine. And that's how I keep my paints wet. That's the trick I actually learned from theater is because I would be painting a piece of furniture and I would want to come back to it after I had dried some, but I didn't want to like have to
that
completely
make-
wash
yeah.
my brush out. So you wrap the brush in saran wrap, and it keeps it wet, so that
Yeah.
way you can come back and just do it, and then wash it once you're completely done with what you're working
Right,
on.
and then you don't have to worry about color matching either,
Mhm.
right? Like everything
Yep.
is just, it's still there.
It's
and
gonna
you're
be
good
the same.
to go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I just use a paper towel, square printer paper, and damp. Oh, okay, yeah, that. I mean, it's not a lot of people. It's some people love wet palettes, some people don't. It just depends on like how you paint and what your style is. But that's just what I prefer. I find when I paint.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. So plastic wrap, wet towels, or you see Krenzlin said a small bead of Vaseline around the threads on the paints. That makes sense, actually, yeah, to me, because then I'll seal it. That's a good idea, Krenzlin.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before, but I like that.
Yeah, neither have I.
All right, so Evelyn, final questions for Vivi?
Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think there's any other ones in chat. Let me think. Okay, without spoilers. What was it? Why is why was Lilith the character that she is, without spoiling anything? Like, why
Good
did
question.
you? Why did you choose her? And like, what why is she? Why is she so awesome?
And by the way, we're rating Jay in just a minute, so just stick with us. We're going to rate into him, so don't sweat that. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I kind of just started building based on kind of when me and John were talking about the wild elves and stuff like that, and then gave me that. What was it, John, that you gave me? It's like old school. What was it?
Yeah, the Dragon Mag article on Grugark.
Yeah. So not only were the ads super cool.
Yeah, the ads are awesome.
Yeah, and then I kind of read into like the history of Grugax, and it was kind of cool. And then we kind of went in a direction where it was like she was just basically like Ariel, right? Like wanting to go into like and look into the new world and stuff like that. So I think that was kind of cool. Also, just because I didn't know much of the lore of Greyhawk, it was an easy out to be like, I live deep in the forest and I don't know anything.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that.
I think like that was most of the part of it that was great, because then I could learn as well with Lilith about Greyhawk, right? And like ask questions that she normally like that would make sense about, and find out more about Greyhawk. I think it was a good way to do that. Also, usually all of my characters that I create have some sort of weird quirk, and I feel like Lilith is
What's
just
that mean about you, Vivi?
It means I have a lot of weird quirks as well. But I found that Lilith is definitely my quirkiest character that I've ever played or made creative. Yeah, and I love it. I love that she's so quirky. I love her.
You can't have a character that's always collecting teeth in every campaign.
No, and look, and we got to wrap up. But I love we got a lot of quirky, like Gimble's quirky, Brim's quirky. But there's a really cool dissonance between Millie and Lilith, and that is the greedy gold seeker that is Millie, like whatever is going to bring her coin, which is so, as I've said before, antithetical to every other character Evelyn's played. And then Lilith, she could care less about gold. What's that like for the two of you? Last question here. And by the way, I wish you would have asked that question at the beginning. That was the best question, Evelyn. You asked the best one of the night. I lose, you win. So what's that like for the two of you interacting as sort of the quirky one and the greedy one?
Well, for me, I think Millie and Lilith have such an interesting bond, and I feel like, it started off as like Lilith was giving her all the gold, which she's never experienced anybody just willingly handing over money, like that. And so Millie kind of suddenly was like, should I return the favor? This is, so that's why she started looking for trinkets for Lilith anytime she searches for stuff now. And I don't know, it's just it feels like they kind of in a kind of weird way like get each other. And especially, I think that was particularly evident in the very most recent session, where there was that really lovely silent moment between Lilith and Millie, where they just kind of, there was like an understanding that passed between them without them saying a single word to each other. And I just thought that, it's just so interesting. Two characters that are so polar opposites are connected.
Yeah, and I agree with everything Evelyn's saying. I love the kind of I don't know what the word is, but like it's just like a not a relationship that you would expect the two to have. And I really love how it's kind of growing and spinning into this thing where Lilith is just like at the beginning, like she said, like I'm just like I don't care about money, and she seems to like it, so I'll just hand it over to her, and then it's just like whatever, here you go, you seem to like this, And then it's just kind of created this like unspoken bond between Millie and Evelyn, where they just, or Millie and Evelyn, you and you, Millie and Lilith, you and yourself. But Millie and Evelyn, and I really like where it's going. I love the fact that they do have this like bond that's not like I guess normal or what you would expect, right? Like I feel like there's certain things where it's like, oh, maybe they're gonna bump heads or whatever, but like Evelyn put it perfectly, where she just said that there's just like it's a opposites attract, almost like unspoken bond that I think that is really great, and I'm happy to see where it goes. Yeah.
I love that. What a great answer. All right. Hey, look, you're going to have to come back with us again in the future. You're delightful. So fun to have you on the chat. And I think what I'm going to do in the future, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to ask a question once in a while. I'm going to let the two of you run this show on Wednesdays, because you're way better at this than me. Fantastic job. Blood Wild, the spell duration ended. Thank you, Phantom. All right, so we're going to get ready to raid Jay here. Any parting thoughts? I want to talk about Greyhawk Combat. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
Somebody was saying about missing the last episode. There was no episode yesterday, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, we did not have a session yesterday, but last week's is currently uploading to YouTube.
All right.
As of a while ago.
So and I don't skip sessions lightly. I only see maybe one or two more that I might miss in the rest of the year. But I was going to maybe talk about it tonight. I'm just not ready yet. I'll talk about it maybe on, how about not Sunday, maybe next Tuesday, maybe on our next Greyhawk Awakening. I'll talk about what's going on lightly, but it was a tough day yesterday, and there were some real reasons for canceling our stream. But thank you for all the well-wishing and good thoughts. I had lots of that, and we're going to be back strong on Sunday, 1:30 Central Time with our Rune Lords campaign. Then Tuesday, Greyhawk Awakening. Oh my gosh, they're in the middle of a battle with a Paling. Remember that name?
Right. Oh, yes.
You guys better be paying attention to my notes and pictures. I do that stuff on purpose. It's got a meaning. Yeah. The battle with the Paling. And they're only a couple of miles away from the Orc Fort in the middle of the Cron Hills. And, I'm a little bit scared. Like, it was literally...
You're scared.
Yeah, I'm scared for it. Like, there was going to be a death, and then Shorewind jumped in front of Brim. And then Millie used her fate chip.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Can I ask you, John, a question before you...
Absolutely. You ask me anything.
I just curious about your DMing style and, like, I guess, like, DMs or things that you or how you aspire your DMing to be, I guess?
How I aspire...
Where do you...
Yeah, well, how I aspire it to be... how I make a living and earn, just I'm going to quit all my jobs and do everything. I want to DM full time. I want to be a DM all the time. I want to do it 24/7, DM to the stars and make it a living. But anyway, so that's fine. That's probably not going to happen, right? So anyway.
You never know.
You never know, maybe. My biggest thing is, like we've talked about, I always think about my players. I want my players to have fun. Everything I do is geared toward players, immersion, the joy. That's why the backstories are important to me. I try to weave those things in. I try to give each player moments. I don't want anyone to feel like they're left out. So as a DM, I have my broader story and my narrative. And I've talked about, so I don't want to be on rails. I want the players to have freedom. But in that freedom, I want to make sure each player feels like they're a hero. Because as a DM, if I boiled it down to one philosophy, I want to be the DM I would want to be a player for.
Right. 100%. Yeah, for sure. Because I think that like just playing with you from the beginning or whatever, it's I've learned a lot about your DMing style, and it's kind of like inspired me to be like, okay, like this is kind of things that I want to do as well. You know, like I think in the way where you like you say with the moments, like giving everybody a moment and giving them and not railroading. I think that's a big thing for me as well too, because I feel like that's something as a DM I would never want to do, is like put up a wall in like. When you're DMing, the whole point is that people want to use their imagination, and there's no limits to their imagination. And when you put up a wall, I feel like it kind of like crashes everything down, right? And then they're like, oh, well, okay, I can't do that anymore. And maybe they pull back from how they would want to like use their imagination or play a game, right?
Exactly. No, that's funny, Steve. And Extort 4711, John, did you ever know you're my hero? Look, I mean that. Look, I just all I think about, and we need to close off because I got to raid Jay. I don't normally go into his time, but we went a little over tonight. I just love the game, and I remember the magic of the game as a player. And it's brought me so much imagination and so many moments of wonder, and I want to give that to my players. I want them to walk away and go, oh, that was awesome, like to expand even what they thought was possible. Then the viewers that come on Twitch, that's great because they add more. They oftentimes push us in directions I never thought of. So it's so much fun. Vivi, you've been amazing. Thanks for being on with us tonight. Can you drop her creds again in the Twitch chat?
I can do it via the Greyhawk cast.
Follow her on the DMsQuest on everything she does. She is amazing. And of course, as always, the incredible Evelyn, my right hand. So thankful to you. And thanks for everybody staying with us. And you can be as good as you could be better than John, Steve. Thank you, Casey. Good to see you, Redbeard. Everybody, thanks so much. Good night tonight. We're going to go ahead and set up, and I'm not going to do the anticlimactic thing tonight. I'm going to get this right tonight. So we're going to raid Lord Gasumba, and I'm going to talk for a few more seconds here while that gets ready. So
at least 9 seconds.
At least 9, 6, 7. Like, you guys are awesome tonight. Thanks so much. All right.
Oh no, thank you.
One last question. Anyone? One last question. Either one of you? No, it's fine.
I don't think so. I think we're.
Too much pressure. You always do that. Ask questions.
I know. I do, don't I? I gotta fix that. That's like, I'm not a natural interviewer. I'm like, what do you think about this? Like everybody like, oh, panicked.
I'm not ready. I'm not prepared.
So anyway, we'll see you 1:30 on Sunday for Rune Lords, and then right back here 5 o'clock Tuesday night. It's going to be a fantastic Greyhawk Awakening session next Tuesday, 5 o'clock Central, all times. And now we're raiding the incredible Lord Gasumba. Thank you, everybody. Blue Box out.
Bye, guys.
All right.